Let's talk about it right now. We are AT&T. I'm Courtney with Cowboys Nation.
What is up? Here's a welcome to another edition of Tag Nation. It's your boy Mike Tag with Jimmy D. Look at him, he's got the helmet on. Before we get started, we want to make sure you guys like, subscribe, share. You can check us out on Spotify if you're in your car, just chilling at your house. If you're on Facebook, obviously we've got Tag Nation, and obviously YouTube. You can find us under Mike Tag. But Jimmy D, looks like you're ready. You got an injured list. What are you coming up, getting called up?
You know, each week I'm wearing my toque, right? So I'm looking for my Yankee one for the last couple weeks. But I don't know if you know what, if the kids raid your stuff. But the kids like to raid my apparel. And I got my Knicks one, my Falcons and Rangers. Can't find my Yankees one because my kids raid my stuff.
I didn't lose it.
Shut up! You better shut up! I'll break you in half. Anyway, so I got to wear this stupid thing for you.
It looks sharp. I call you. You're the modern day John Olerud, right? You wear the helmet. You're playing.
That's the best.
So you'll fit in nicely. But how was your weekend before we get rolling?
No, you know what? It was fun. I mean, I don't know if anybody saw my Twitter post on Saturday. I had 4 objectives. One was the Yankees to win. We came back and won. Second was the Rangers to win, but we lost. Third, most important, was to spend family time, which threw some baseball with our producer and threw some football with my older one and hung out with my wife, and that was perfect. And then come 6 o'clock, I had, 10 or 15 espresso martinis. So let's just say it was a late night.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
Mine was a quiet weekend, just hanging with the family, chilling. We did a little 505 club on Friday. Saturday, man, I don't think we did a whole lot. And then come Sunday, we're just chilling. So I got to get ready for doing a quick road trip up to Georgia Thursday. So I'm going to have to watch the draft, out of the cave. So it'll be a new experience, but I just have some personal stuff I gotta take care of. So it's going to be a road trip for the draft. But we're going to get into the draft because it is draft week. It's been quiet, but it's Mike Tag, so we always got to talk about the Cowboys. You see everything behind me. We always got to start with America's team. And the OTA started, and, Dak Prescott, always, there's always in the news about him being, is he ready? Is he 100%? He had that horrific ankle injury. Then he had the shoulder injury a little bit, tweaked that a little bit last year. So he's been kind of banged up. Sorry about that. Cut his head off. Jimmy, you're cutting Dak's head off. I'm going to have to work on that. That was my graphic, so we'll fix that for next week. I told you guys I'm still learning this stuff. But so now he's come back saying he's feeling better than ever. He's feeling refreshed, invigorated, and ready to get this 2022 started. So he's going to be key, and I just want to get your thoughts. To me, if you're out there, you're 100%. So I never want to say, if you're out there playing, you've got to be ready to play whether you're 100% or not. So do you think that type of injury, you've seen those kind of injuries in the past, is it a 2-year process to where now we're probably in that second year where he got that 1 year under his belt and he's probably back to normal?
Yeah, some of it's confidence, some of it's just getting back to normal physically. No, I think he's fine. And we still have 4 months until the regular season. There's plenty of time. He showed up at the OTAs. That means he's ready to rock and roll.
Yeah. And I tell you what, the turnout on the OTAs were good. It is voluntary, but this team looks like they're focused. They want to get that bad taste out of their mouth. I know Cowboys Nation, it's been a tough off season. We lost a couple guys. We didn't really get a lot of action in free agency. We did sign some of our own, so it's going to make the draft even more important. But something that came out, which was interesting, I don't buy a lot of stock in it, but was, Debo requested a trade from San Francisco. So it's always interesting that anytime there's a player that's requesting a trade or something's going on, contract dispute or something, they always throw Dallas in there because Dallas they understand Dallas is going to get the headlines. Dallas is going to be on First Take. Dallas is going to be on FS1, with Shannon and Skip. They love talking about the Cowboys. Their ratings, and that's what it's all about. So there was a tweet that went out. One of the fans in Cowboys Nation kind of did a quick graphic thing and put Debo in the 19, and he retweeted it, and then the whole social media went crazy. It ended up going national. So kudos to him, and it was great. But then I guess Debo took it down. So the question was, you get rid of Coop, what do you think about getting Debo? What kind of player do you think he is? I mean, he had a breakout year last year. He's a unique kind of receiver with his running ability. What's your thoughts?
I mean, and the question is, well, first off, I'll take a step back. The big thing was him and the Jets originally, before it came out with the Cowboys. Now, I don't think anybody wants to go to the Jets. They're perennial losers. But then again, if the money's there, you never know. But he's got to be in the right type of offense for him to shine. And now think about it. In San Francisco, they got questions about Jimmy G. You don't know what's going to happen with him. He's been in the rumor mill for the last month. So the question is, what is Debo left with in San Francisco? I don't know. I think he'd fit in all right in Dallas.
Yeah, he would. I don't think that, they're not going to do it. They didn't bring Coop back. They're not going to sign another one. Like the man said, he's not going to Dallas. But the interesting thing, and I want to give credit to whoever said it, but I don't know who said it. So if you tell me, I'll retract it. But someone put a video out or just put some comments out about Tony Pollard and saying we got a Debo on our team. It's Tony Pollard, and Tony Pollard played some receiver at in college, and I thought he was smaller. So I said, let's get the tail of the tape. Let's figure it out. Both of them are 6 feet tall. Debo's 215. Pollard's listed at 209. Debo just seemed like he looks bigger. But if you look at what we could do with Pollard in our offense, I could see that. He's a guy who can catch the ball. Obviously, he has some running ability. He's explosive. He had 169 touches, last year, most of it running. He put up over 1,000 yards. The thing I didn't like is they didn't use him as much in the red zone. He only got 2 touchdowns, and I know one of them was a breakaway because I was there. I don't remember what the other one was, but both of them were rushing. They weren't passing. He's a guy, if you get him in open space, he can create problems. They talked about CD being that, the Debo. CD, and I could be wrong again, he looks a little too frail to be taking the punishment that you would as a running back. So, looking at Pollard, I know you don't follow the Cowboys, but you saw him light up the Falcons, so I'm sure you got a little bit of taste. I mean, could you see him being utilized in that kind of way where they're using Debo? Because it is effective. I mean, his numbers showed it last year, and against us in the playoffs, he was a problem.
Well, I'll take Cordarrelle Patterson for the Falcons, multi-use player, right? So I guess you can make it happen in any offense if you want, especially in your offense with a quarterback who can run. But getting back to what Camel Piper said, he's saying that Debo is not going to the Cowboys. The question is he going anywhere, or is he playing games for the sake of contract?
I think it's contract. And if you look at it, he had this big year, right? He had 1,400 yards, I think 14 total touchdowns.
Killed it.
He added another 350 or 400 running, and a lot of that was late in the year. I mean, you're seeing Tyreek Hill, you're seeing Devontae Adams, you're seeing these receivers cash up. So it's one of those where he was a second-round pick, so he can redo his deal now to where, like CD, he's got to wait another year before he can try and redo his deal because they got that 5th-year option for him. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. San Francisco, I don't see why they would trade him, but, I would welcome him in Dallas. I don't think it'll happen.
No, I don't think so. And look, you got other trade rumors too. You got Kyler Murray out in Arizona. The Falcons were in on that conversation. As of 2 days ago, their GM said he isn't going anywhere. Yeah. But, again, is that going to be a trade day, a draft day trade? You never know.
No. And speaking of the draft, we'll get into it. And another mess up by me. I don't know what the hell I'm doing with my graphics. I got to lower those guys. I'm cutting them all out. And I was even trying to show my man Tolbert from South Alabama some love because he's one of those receivers that if it's the right spot, I wouldn't mind seeing Dallas get him. I think he's someone who can definitely contribute. But looking at the draft, and I love the draft. It's something I look forward to. Like we talked about last week or week before. It's been probably a couple of weeks. Time flies so fast. When we had J Tuck on, the thing I always enjoyed was draft day. It was on a Saturday. It was all day, and you just kind of eat it up. But it's prime time, and it's paid dividends. I've been to the draft live in Philly, so I've seen the crowds. I've seen what it can do. So it's big time. It's prime time. So it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. There's not a lot of hype. There's not a lot of big names. So the question's going to be, is this going to be a draft where teams are just going to take their guy and stay put? Or do you think this is where people are going to get creative and some people might try and, move up a little bit? Some people are going to try and trade down to maybe get some extra picks because it's, like I said, it's not top heavy, but it's middle strong in the middle rounds of this draft with talent.
Well, and I'll speak for the Falcons because we have multiple draft picks in the second and third rounds. So, the question is, do we just start stocking up on, we need an edge, we need some receivers, and we got multiple areas, offensive linemen. But now we're talking about the OTAs. Grady Jarrett no-showed, right? He was our second biggest cap hit. So speaking from a Falcons fan standpoint, the question is, are they going to, maybe he's going to be trade bait on during the draft, and we'll see what happens there. But you never know, man. You never know what's going to happen, what kinds of surprises are going on. You don't see much in the way of any rumors or big rumors online. So, I guess maybe Wednesday leading into Thursday, we might see stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, like Aiden Hutchinson from Michigan, he's been the consensus number one guy pretty much for the last 2 months. But now you got Trayvon Walker from Georgia sneaking up, another edge rusher, and he's moving up in the draft. For me, for the Cowboys, what I've liked from them, and just running through it, is they've hit pretty good in their first rounds. I mean, their last 10 years are probably about an 80% clip of solid guys. The only two misses, that they had were probably Taco, which I was there for that. They draft Taco and pass up on TJ Watt. That was a bad one. They didn't get a first-round pick in one of the other years, and obviously the other one was Morris Claiborne. About 10 years ago, he was the next Dion. He was one of the highest-rated prospects, at cornerback, ever. He was a surefire, can't miss, and it just never panned out, injuries and so on. But if you go down the list with Parsons, with CD, LVE's been solid. He's played 5 years, been to a Pro Bowl. I mean, that's a solid. Zeke, obviously. He had a strong start to his career. Hopefully he can get healthy and kind of bounce back a little bit. Byron Jones was solid. He got a big contract from Miami. Zach Martin, Travis Frederick had a great career, just ended a little bit short. But, in those 5 or 6 years, he was in the Pro Bowl every year. So Dallas has been able to draft well. So I guess, the point of it is draft solid guys. We don't need superstars. We've got a superstar at every level. From the offensive line, we've got a superstar. The wide receivers, we've got one. Obviously, the quarterback, the running back, the defensive line, the linebackers, into the secondary. We've got playmakers on every level, of the offense and defense. We need contributors. So, my plea to Steven and Jerry, they'll listen to me. And hopefully, McClay, let McClay do his thing. Let the scouts do their thing. Don't get overly excited. Don't reach. Just pick your solid guys. I need 3 contributors. I need someone on offense. I need a wide receiver, and I need an edge rusher or a linebacker, someone who can help free Parsons up to let him roam a little bit more, because I don't want to see him stuck as a defensive end, and I don't want to see him stuck as a linebacker. I think him moving around and creating mismatches and creating havoc in the backfield is where he's at his best.
Hey, I say Grady Jarrett to the Cowboys for one of your picks. I'll take that all day, man. You could take his
round pick. That's all he's going to get.
Well, his stats have been on the decline the last 3 years. So I love the guy. He's a veteran with leadership quality, but at the end of the day, paying that kind of money when the numbers are going down and declining year after year, it's not a good match, not a good fit. So I got news for you. I love the guy, but if we can unload him on draft day, I'd be okay with that.
Well, and I think the Falcons, I think you guys are in a position where you need this draft is perfect for you if you have enough picks. because you can get solid contributors. You guys got, I hate that you always use the word rebuild, because in the NFL, you can go from, the outhouse to the penthouse in a season. All it just takes a couple things to happen. Hey, you guys draft a quarterback or something crazy, Dak, everyone said the season was over when Romo went down. And here comes this rookie 4th-round pick. We end up going 13-3. It can happen.
Yeah.
That's how quick it is in the NFL. So you guys need some contributors, and it's good because it's deep in receiver. You guys are hurting there.
That's what we need.
You've got plenty of opportunity there. You've got some edge rushers. You've got some line. The only weak spot is quarterback, and that's where maybe you're going to end up reaching if you want to get a quarterback, or you just stay in. You stay where you're at, get the best player available, and you got Mariota. He's there now, right?
Yes, he's our starter as of now.
You hope and pray, because he can run, he can move things around, but he doesn't really stay healthy. So that's the only that'd be your only kind of concern. Well,
I guess we'll see what happens. It's a few days away. Jay Tuck will be on the red carpet there.
So that's what I saw, man. Yeah. He's getting big time.
Yes.
I saw he's just a
big
regular guy doing Cowboys fan only. I was on the show, and then the next thing you know, he keeps blowing up. And he does a great job on the draft. And I had a guest kind of lined up today just to give us a little bit more in-depth stuff. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to save him for the post-draft. So he's going to be able to give, some analysis on the Cowboys, give analysis on what he thinks are Falcons. He's from Georgia, so he'll give a local flavor to it. He's not a Falcons fan, but he can give an overall view of the draft and kind of grade our teams and let us know from a talent standpoint with these prospects what we got.
Is that my buddy who lives near Flowery Branch?
It is.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
It is.
All right.
The man's an encyclopedia of knowledge when it comes to college, so it's exciting. I will use this quick moment just to remind, especially Cowboys Nation, a couple weeks. I believe it's the 9th. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jimmy. We're going to have, a Cowboys legend, Larry Cole, is going to be on the show. We're going to be obviously diving into his book. But the man's played 3 decades with the Cowboys, late 60s, 70s, and then up until 81. He 5 Super Bowls, 1, 2. He saw what the Cowboys kind of went through, where they're always the next year's team because they couldn't get over the hump, to where they got over that mountaintop, and then won a couple Super Bowls. He was actually on the Doomsday Defense 1 and 2, which that's how kind of shows how his career spanned. So we're really excited to have him on. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you're a Cowboys fan, you better make sure you tune in. You're going to learn a lot about the history. And he had some funny thoughts and some interesting thoughts about today's Cowboys team and ownership that you guys might enjoy as well.
Well, and one thing that I like the most is when we get, we can teach, especially some of the younger viewers and some of the younger listeners, what those guys, we've talked about this in the past, the guys who set the table for the multi-billion-dollar industry that the NFL is now, right? And think about it. You play from the 60s to the 80s. That in and of itself was a big change. And then now from 81 to now, even more dramatic. So that's what I love, is the nostalgia. And, maybe see if he's got any Falcon stories for me, because he would have seen the Falcons, who didn't have a season over 500 for the first 10 seasons. And then, finally winning something in 1980.
They were like the preseason opponent. You set up, you rest your starters. But he played defensive line, so he was lined up next to Bob Lilly. He was lined up next to Randy White, Ed Too Tall Jones. So you think of those careers, and how they spanned. It's he has a lot of great stories in his book. I've started reading it, and you get sucked into it. But these guys too, to your point, they had second jobs. They were playing football, and that was it. I mean, these guys were playing football. Then they had to go to work when the season was over and earn a living.
They're out selling used cars in the spring.
He worked in construction, so
damn.
But he did well, and he's doing all right. And again, it's just really excited. Anytime we get, like Jimmy said, we can get these former players on to kind of share their experiences, share their knowledge to the fans. It's just, I love it. I soak it in. I live for those older days when you used to watch, NFL films all the time. Those guys they went at it, and it was they weren't sorry about nothing. They were looking to take your head off. They weren't shaking hands, and they weren't exchanging jerseys after the game. So it was definitely a fun time.
So we're gonna talk. What are we gonna talk? We're gonna talk some baseball tonight, or
We're gonna, let's talk a little bit of NBA, and then maybe we'll
okay?
jump to baseball because I told you this is the time I like to get into the NBA. This is the time playoff basketball. Everything gets raised a level.
Yeah,
And growing up in South Florida, my son's a Heat fan. I'm a Heat fan, and I think they got control of everything. But man,
yeah,
I was watching the it would have been Game 3 where they were up, they were down a little bit,
yeah.
then they went way up, and then they blew it. I'm saying,
That
what
was
the
a
hell happened? They ended up losing the
heartbreaker.
game, but at least they took control of it. But I really want to ask you is these Phoenix Suns. I remember last week they're going to skate and walk through this.
Yep.
They're in a little bit of trouble.
No, you know what? I tell you, I said that they were my lock for the West. Nobody else was. When Devin Booker got hurt, that finished them. That was it. They haven't done anything since. And yeah, you know what? They're going to go down in flames, man. I think that series is 2-2 now. So
2-2.
yeah, they're at risk of losing. So now what? I think the Warriors would be the next team up. I mean, Steph Curry coming off the bench because his foot's finally healed. He's over 30 points his last 3 games. So now with this Devin Booker situation, he's not going to be ready for at least another week.
Wow.
So that would go into the second round. So I'm thinking, might be the Warriors stepping up now, and they have a lot of veteran leadership too.
And being from New York, Brooklyn was the team that my son was so worried about the Heat playing, not want any part of them in the first round. They look like they're going to make a quick exit as well.
Well, I mean, first of all, Steve Nash is being outcoached every game. Ben Simmons still hasn't played a game since he was traded to the Nets at the trade deadline. And first it was his back, then he was saying he's working out some issues, some personal issues. He got ripped apart by Shaq, and I'm sorry, rightfully so. I mean, your team's about to get knocked out of the playoffs, and he should be playing, right? And Kyrie and Durant, they're just immaturity, man. So I thought they were my sleeper. That was my sleeper. Saying the Heat would likely take the East, but Brooklyn with the sleeper. Now the 76ers might be that sleeper pick. And they shouldn't even be a sleeper. They got Joel Embiid, who might be the MVP.
Yeah, it seemed like is it a collision course, you think, at Miami and the 76ers? Are they scheduled that they would meet in the conference championship?
Yes. Yeah, they would. Yep. So I guess we'll see, but it's just amazing what a difference a week makes. Right? And like you said, Trae Young, I mean, that was a heartbreaker at the end against Miami on Friday night, but Jimmy Butler's just taking over, man. That guy's just sick.
Yeah. I like his brand of. I like watching Heat basketball when he's there. I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it. So, touching a little bit of baseball, I'll be honest, you're going to have to fill me in a little bit because I haven't stayed up with it. Again, baseball is such a long season. I kind of check it on the weekend. I'll keep an eye on it, but I think the Mets, are they still doing well? I mean,
yes.
Who's the teams? What's the hot stories around the diamond?
Well, yeah, I mean, the Mets right now are probably the best team in the league. However, that's probably not going to last too long. We both know that. The Yankees, and people rip it on the Yankees up here, they're always they always start slowly. I don't panic, but it's just their big money players weren't doing anything. Finally, they start going the last few days. Cole had a great outing yesterday. Joey Gallo finally started picking up, started hitting this past weekend. Now, there was an incident. I don't know if you saw. We were playing against Cleveland when whatever their new dopey name is. It's stupid, whatever, Guardian, some crap. Anyway, it's stupid. There was a little incident in the outfield where all the other fans in the league and some of the Cleveland fans were calling us, no class and all this. Did you check? Did you see that footage?
No, I did. I missed this one, man. I must have been slipping.
So Gleyber Torres with a walk-off single. We win on Saturday, and then all of a sudden in the outfield, you see some of our fans, some of my fellow Yankees fans, throwing some beer cans, empty beer cans and stuff out, and water bottles out on the right fielders. Well, all of a sudden, all over Twitter, all over social media, we're horrible, we're classless, and this and that. But once there was some video footage that came out from the fans' cameras from right field, there was a little bit of a twist. The truth came out, and it was a right fielder for the dopey Cleveland team Miles Straw, whatever the hell. I don't know. He doesn't mean anything to me. The whole point is he was running his mouth saying he's going to come up and kick somebody's ass. Right?
You had the evidence.
You
The
got-
valuable evidence.
Put the evidence in the car.
You know what going back to basketball, because I did watch this. Did you see the girl get slammed up in Minnesota?
Yeah. Oh God.
I mean,
Not funny. Not funny, but
it's funny. Listen, I ran. People who don't know, I ran on the field when the Marlins were playing back in '90. It might have been 97 or whatever it was.
Yes.
My buddy and I ran down the field, and we got thrown against the wall and apprehended. But I made sure I wasn't 18 yet, so they had to let me walk. I used my brain on that one. It was like a week before my 18th birthday. But nowadays, I'm just telling you this. That was a different time. It was funny. People laughing. If you're running on there now, if I'm a player, I'm thinking bad intentions. And I'm going to be hurting somebody. So I would be thinking twice before I'm running out on any field.
Cleveland does suck. Thank you, Camo Piper. Yeah, but you know what though? It's funny, but it's like you hate to see that. I mean,
I do like to see that. I think it's funny.
I know. I'm trying to burn the candle at both ends here, right? So, but yeah, you don't do that. You're gonna get hurt. You're gonna get hurt permanent.
You're gonna have some permanent damage. And I missed the big fight they had Saturday. That was over before it started, but it was overseas, so it was only like 4 o'clock. It was like 4 in the afternoon or something like that. So it's just been a quiet week in sports, and that's why I look forward to the draft. I look forward to getting this thing rolling. Hopefully college football gets happening. So what do we got? Baseball. This is a baseball show. What's with the Yankee hat?
Well, you see, if you would have tuned in at the start of the show, Danny, you would know. All right.
Danny's always got to talk a little noise.
That's quite all right.
Tell Archie Bunker to mix in a football hat. Why would he want to wear a hat if he's a Falcons fan? You can't blame him for that. You can't blame the man for that.
There we go. You want? I'll switch it out for you. That's what you want. So anyway, yeah, but no, with baseball, like I said, so it was entertaining this weekend. I'm happy my Yankees are doing well again. And, NHL, I saw that your brother went. So 2 weeks in a row, a tag went to an NHL game, and they got a stick from one of the Lightning players. I don't know who, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Andy. We got a comedian out there. He's afraid to come on the show, right? He hides behind the keyboard, and that's okay.
But it was 8-5, and he had a lot of things. I tell you off subject. The cool thing is and I'll hype up the Cowboys again, but Cowboys Nation, really not the Cowboys, has surpassed 13,000 followers, on Twitter. And we keep growing on our Tag Nation. We keep growing on YouTube. The season gets started. So, we're going to get this hype train rolling. I did the cameos are picking up again. I did another cameo Saturday. That's what I did Saturday night. I hooked up a cameo. So, things are growing in Tag Nation. Things are growing with Jimmy D. I'm seeing your followers are growing too. You're getting out there.
Yes.
Man wasn't even social. Now you're all over social media.
Exactly. So talking about, you're talking about Dallas. We'll talk about the Dallas Stars, who have a must-win situation tomorrow against the Vegas Knights, right? So the Golden Knights, their goalie's out for the season. They're starting goalie, but they're fighting for that last wild card spot. Right now, Dallas is on the inside, which is good, but they got 3 games left. They lose tomorrow night, it's going to get interesting. So for all you Stars fans, you might want to be on the lookout for that game tomorrow night.
Starting against about the Stars. What about the Mavericks? I mean, it's just been
we talked about the Mavericks. They're already in. The Stars are trying to get in, and that's rolling.
No, I'm saying that the Dallas Mavericks are in trouble in the playoffs, aren't they?
Oh, they're in trouble in the playoffs, right?
But, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just been, they're going to have an exit. If they get an exit, Dallas Stars collapse. My Cowboys, we lost our playoff game. It'd be a rough year for Dallas, man. We gotta turn this thing around.
Well, I guess we'll see what happens. The Mavericks, I think they play tonight, or is that I'm not sure when they play again. I don't know if it's tonight or tomorrow, but Yeah, so I guess we'll see what happens, man. I hope not.
Well, cool, man. Well, I don't have any other sports stuff to say. Like I said, it's been quiet. I don't know. Did I miss anything that you need to touch base on, or you want to react to? Or you feeling done?
No, I think we're feeling good. We'll finish off a quick two quick NHL notes. Florida Panthers secured the top spot in the East, so they're going to have home ice throughout. Man, a Florida team, right? It's amazing. And Tampa Bay is, they're yeah. I mean, actually, Tampa Bay kicked their asses last night, but Tampa Bay is looking to jockey for position, right? And on a footnote with the NHL, they lost. It's 2 weeks in a row. Last week they lost Mike Bossy. This week, Guy Lafleur, 5-time Stanley Cup champ, scored 50 goals 5 or 6 times, 50 goals plus. Guy was a perennial winner. Rest in peace. Died young, 72 years old. So it's and you know who else passed away? Was it Daryl Lamont, Raiders quarterback, passed away? Name escapes me. But one of the old school Raiders quarterback passed away too. So it's been a rough week in sports last few weeks.
Now that's my grandpa always said, as you get older, you go to more funerals than you do weddings. And I think as you get to that point. So these some of these legends that we grew up watching, that's they kind of they're going before our eyes. So
Daryl LaMonica. All right, thank you. Yep.
There you go. You helped my man out. See, Danny did contribute to the show. So like
Finally.
I said, this is a slow week. The draft's coming up. I wish the draft was exciting, but I think it's going to be solid. I need my Cowboys to just do what they have been doing, pick some solid guys. We need instant contributors. Just give me 3. That's all I'm asking for. Give me 3 guys that contribute. They don't have to be big starters. As long as they can contribute, I think a lot of that's going to make up some of the losses that we have. And the schedule comes out May 12th, so pretty soon we're going to have that schedule breakdown, and we're going to figure out what trips Mike Tag's taking to AT&T, and we'll see if we can drag Jimmy down maybe to come to a game or 2 as well. So slow week. We're going to be back at it. Like I said, don't forget, not next Monday, the Monday after, we got Larry Cole. He's coming on. Yes, that's right. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be great. I had a 20-minute conversation with him. He is his memory is great of the stories, but he doesn't hold anything back. So we're going to ask him a lot of questions. I know, Jimmy D is going to hit him with some of the harder stuff, to try and see if he can dig into that Cowboy Nation, see if he can get the truth out of him, maybe how he really feels about some of the things that have been going on. So
there can be no cheap shots, but I will be, digging for the truth.
You'll be firm and fair.
That's right.
So hey, we'll see you guys, man. I appreciate it. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you follow. We're on Facebook. We're blowing up on Twitter. We're going to get our TikTok thing going once the season gets started. We'll be bringing the hype. So you guys stay with it. Have a great week. Jimmy, peace out. Now, can you dig it?